picks, 6'1", 180 pounds, Isaiah Thomas of the University of Indiana.
Now he fires, fills it, a triple at the horn. Pistons win. Pistons win. Johnson from downtown. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another official Detroit Pistons basketball podcast. It's your boy Miguel and Jamal Mays. And today we got rid of Derrick Rose. Well, yesterday, but today we're talking about it. Jamal, what are your thoughts, man?
Happy, man. Happy. Oh, and no, by the way, I like the championship belt in the background.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, I like that. That's the heavyweight championship belt, right?
That's the winged eagle, baby.
Yeah, yeah. That's the Hulk Hogan belt.
That's the Hulk Hogan. That's the Steve Austin, and that is if you smell what the Rock is cooking.
Yeah. Hey,
belt.
but listen, I'm more excited that this it gives us a draft pick, a second round pick, because we need one in a deep draft. And it also, I'm not really super big on Dennis Smith Jr., but I'm game to see what he could do with us with the change of scenery. The Knicks are such a toxic organization, and if it doesn't work, you cut them. You cut them if
it was very low risk, high reward.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I agree.
Absolutely.
Now, speaking of the Knicks, what did I tell you at the beginning of the season?
They're still trash. And you can sit up here and tell me, yes, they will have a better record, but 5 years from now, we'll be better than the Knicks, and the Knicks still will be trash.
You know what? I agree with that.
They're the level of the NBA. Yes, they look good now. That guy, Obi Toppin, they're wasting that guy, man. They're wasting him. He looks like a bust because it's the Knicks. The Knicks are a garbage organization. They are.
You know what? I would say that with the Knicks, you have a team that keeps on rebuilding every 2 to 3 to 4 years, and it seems like it's just a revolving door of players. And that's never good. It'll never go anywhere. But that's kind of where we're at too.
But they've gotten. First of all, they're considered a basketball mecca. It's one of the. It's a really big market. They get tons of cap. They had tons. Was it last year? They had like $60 million in cap space. Nobody of significance took their money. They wanted Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving. Listen, it is bad when Brooklyn. They chose to go to Brooklyn. They didn't even. They went to Brooklyn, man. Not New York. Like, that is unheard of. The Brooklyn Nets, instead of paying for the Knicks, it's unbelievable, dude. Absolutely unbelievable.
I mean, I don't know. I'm not like a expert on like New York geography, but I mean, like, I get what you're saying about the Knicks and their history and their legacy, but I would say like being in Brooklyn is like a close second place. I mean, if you're trying to play in the basketball mecca of the world, New York City, right?
Well, here's the thing with that.
It's kind of like if you couldn't be taken by the Lakers, why not just go to the Clippers? They play in the same stadium, for God's sakes. You know what? Sorry, we're going to get off on a tangent here. I hate cities with two teams. I hate cities with two teams. I despise y'all, and I'm jealous.
Why?
I hate y'all. Because, man, we don't get 2 fucking teams.
Well, there are only.
I don't want the Lions. I want a different team.
Well, first of all,
Right?
there's a market. The cities that have 2 teams have really huge markets. Like
That's true.
Like LA, it's off the top of my head, it's only 3 cities that have 2 teams. LA, New York, and Chicago. Those are the only 3 cities that have 2 teams.
Some Florida, well, there's states that have 2 teams too, like Florida and Texas.
That's totally different. That's totally different. We're talking about the cities. Like
I don't agree.
You said what?
I hate states with 2 teams as well.
So what
I would take a Grand Rapids NFL team any day of the week.
Wow.
That's how bad it is.
That would probably be the next biggest, either Grand Rapids or Lansing. Wow.
Yeah, Lansing. I would say more Grand Rapids, though. I can see something in Grand Rapids. It's a growing area. That's how bad it is. I would love an NFL team in Grand Rapids. That would be amazing. Amazing.
Why do you hate the Lions that bad?
I don't hate them. I'm just tired of them. It is nauseating how bad it is with the Lions. So
listen, I'm 43 years old, man. I've watched 1 playoff win in my life. One.
You don't look 43, man. You look good for your age. You don't look 43. You look good for your age.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
You look like you're in your 30s, man.
I'll take it. I'll take it, man. I try to live a stress-free life, and
I watch the Lions.
Oh, listen, I watch the Lions with no emotion, none. I have no emotion when I watch them guys, man. I don't get mad because nothing they do surprise me anymore. It's the Lions. That's my favorite saying, and I do the same. Well, I hate the Knicks for a different reason, but they're stupid, man. The Knicks are, and for the life of me, I'm still trying to figure out how in the hell did they decide they wanted Derrick Rose? Why? Why would they want?
I would say it's Tom Thibodeau. Wanting a familiar face on the franchise.
But you're stunning the growth of guys like Quickly and Kevin Knott and the French dude. You already got 3 point guards over there. You want to add another one? It's lunacy. It is complete lunacy that they added him.
It's kind of what you said about it's kind of what you've already said about the Knicks, man. It's kind of a Knicks move to do. To bring on someone like Derrick Rose.
I think I shared this and I could inbox it to you, but what was it? 05, 06, man. They had a nice roster. And they only won like 26 games. Larry Brown was the coach. And Isaiah was the GM. I mean, and with the roster, you would have thought they won at least 45 games. Nope. But anyway, man, I'm in such. I'm in a very.
Get back on topic, by the way. We're about to go off in no man's land.
I'm in a good mood because of the trade. We hoodwinked the Knicks. Getting Dennis Smith Jr. Hopefully he's in shape to play ball when he gets here, because he's only played.
I think he's on a 2 to 3 day waiting period for Corona.
I mean that's fair. That's fair. It's just that he's only played in 3 games this year. So
now what is going on with him? Has he been hurt?
I just don't think that he's been playing.
He's just been sitting on the bench.
Don't do that to me. If the Pistons traded for Reggie Jackson again, I won't watch. I promise you, I won't watch. And in fact, I would call Comcast and have them take off Fox Sports Retreat. I am not kidding. That would hurt me. That would hurt me if they went out and did that. No, that would hurt.
I'm looking at, he's only played in 3 games. Let's see when those games are. I haven't really looked at Dennis Smith's season thus far. But you're right. He's only played in 3 games. That's crazy to me. Let's check this out. Look at his. I love Basketball Reference, but I hate how slow the site is. If it was a tad faster, it'd be an excellent site.
Oh, so I said I love it. I can find out all the stats and all my information. That's one of the better, because they got a Football Reference and a baseball. They also got a hockey one, I think.
I think they started off with basketball though, because I remember it being just Basketball Reference, and I remember all these other ones started popping up, like football, hockey, like you said. So Tommy says, he says the Lions are the Blaha of the NFL, future and should be deported.
Let me ask you this: why are y'all so hard on Blaha? Why?
No, I'm not hard on Blaha. I love Blaha. That's my guy, man. It's just that some people really don't like him. I think it's kind of funny. I won't lie.
But I will say this: if they ever decided to replace him, I got a guy who will be a perfect replacement.
Don't say Johnny Kane. If you say Johnny Kane, man, I'll take you off this. I will take you off this video chat.
No. Gus Johnson.
Gus Johnson. Okay, I can see it. I kind of like Gus.
And he's from Detroit.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep. Bring him on home, baby. Bring him on home.
I kind of like Gus. Gus has got a great voice too. He's got a great voice for play calling.
Yes, he does. I think his voice is better suited. I like him as a football play-by-play guy.
I was gonna say he mostly does football.
He does basketball. He's done.
I've seen him do some college basketball. Basketball. He's
done college basketball. He's done. He's done games for the Knicks.
Has he really?
Yes.
I thought that was what's his face, the guy that does bang down in the corner.
Mike Green.
Yeah, Mike Green.
Mike Green. Yeah, he did. What was I about to say? But yeah, they got one. They got one on YouTube. My name's Al Harrington. I get buckets. I will gladly share it with you. But yeah, it was Gus Johnson with the call, man. It was classic. This was back when Al Harrington was playing for the Knicks. That's old.
Oh man, so you're talking about like late 2000s, like 2008 or something.
Mm-hmm.
9. Yeah. That's hilarious. I haven't seen Gus call too many basketball games. The only basketball games I've heard him call are at the collegiate level.
And I think he would do a great job here.
I kind of like that name. That's a name that actually I do like. Gus Johnson. And then who would be your color commentator though? Because you can't keep Greg Kelton, man. You get rid of George, you might as well get rid of Greg too.
Well,
and Mickey York.
I just think that he is so. His voice is so colorful, and he is so hype. You wouldn't need a color guy. I think he would
carry it on his own.
I think he would carry the franchise. Would carry it by himself. They won't do that. I don't think. As far as color guy, man, I don't know, man. It would have to be. Man, I don't know. It would have to be. I don't know if you listen to Bulls games.
I'm missing all the Bulls games.
Huh?
I'm missing all the Bulls games.
No, Stacey.
Go ahead.
Stacey King, a
Okay.
commentator, a color guy like him, he's really good. If you ever listen to
Okay.
any Bulls games, he's very, very good. He's very,
Okay.
very, very exciting, and he does a very good job in analyzing the game.
You know who I want back as a color commentator? Bill Laimbeer. Okay, I love Bill Laimbeer.
Yeah,
Bill Laimbeer's color was awesome.
But he's the coach for the Las Vegas Aces. He ain't
Yeah.
About
Yeah, no, he's not thinking. He should come back though, man. Everybody loves Bill around here.
Everybody loves Bill. I just wish that we would have given him a coaching shot.
A shot at coaching?
Yeah. I don't know if and see with him, I don't know if I just would have liked to seen a chance. I don't know if he would have done well as far as being a coach, because I just think he was just so intense that players today wouldn't relate to him. Because Laimbeer, I could see Laimbeer being really, really old school.
Yeah, man. So I'm looking at Dennis Smith Jr.'s game log. Yeah, man. It looks like all of these are DMP's coach's decisions.
Well,
he's just not playing. The last game he played was January 17th, which is about 3 weeks ago.
Wow.
January 17th was his last game. Isn't that crazy? I can't believe he's just been riding the pine like that.
I can. You know why?
Why is that?
Because they're the Knicks.
I had a feeling it was coming.
Yeah.
Let me see some of these comments. I can't believe.
I'm sorry. I'm watching the Hornets and the Rockets. LaMelo is balling. No pun intended.
Yeah. What do you think about LaMelo, man? He's kind of surprising.
Yeah. I it's funny because Dennis Thompson he loves. I mean,
I know, and people were killing him for it too.
But you know what? Here's the thing, man. We really didn't have the resources. I wasn't cool with just mortgaging the future to move up to get him. So, and then also he's playing in Charlotte. So, Michael Jordan is another dumb owner that don't know what the hell he's doing. He gave Gordon Hayward $124 million.
Can't disagree with that.
My God, there's always a sucker born every day. He's another sucker. Listen, Michael Jordan is easily my favorite basketball player. Loved him as a basketball player. He's a terrible owner. Terrible.
I enjoy it.
Oh, I know you do. I know you do because we're Piston fans.
I enjoy it.
We enjoy Michael Jordan when he's crying like a bitch and picking himself up off the floor. I
love the trades he does with us. They're great. I can't complain.
Oh my God! Yeah, we ripped him off with Stackhouse for Rip Hamilton. Yeah, that really.
That was a highway steal.
It sure was.
Highway robbery.
And I'm hoping that this is a highway steal. Dennis Smith Jr. I hope he's healthy enough to play, and I hope he does well here. I think we got him for 2 years. We got him for this year and then next year.
Tommy says replace Blaha with Alexa. He can program it to say stupid cliches.
That's funny.
The hate for Blaha is so real, especially with Tommy. So you're saying, like, I can't believe you guys are so hard on Blaha. That's not me. That's Tommy. I just find it funny. I think it's funny. I don't take it personally. I love Blaha. If he retired tomorrow, I would be all for retiring his blazer. Just have his blazer go up in the rafters.
You mean the microphone?
Have a microphone and a blazer. Just have it go up to the rafters.
Well, you know that's what they do that for commentators. They did that with.
If they do, man, I'd be 100% on board with Blaha, man. Blaha is a legend. I can't hate Blaha. I just can't. But if someone cracks a joke, I can't laugh at it either. I mean, I gotta laugh. If it's funny, it's funny. And some of the jokes about Blaha is hilarious. So I don't know.
Comb over. No.
What did he say?
Retire his comb over. Come on, Tommy. You cold, man. It's cold, man.
Oh man, dude, I was watching a first round game. I think it was the 1991 playoffs with the Pacers just the other day. And Blaha was commentating. Blaha's just always been here, man. He's always been the voice of the Pistons. He had more here he has more here in 2020 than he did in 1990. That's just crazy to me. I don't know how he does it.
Well,
he's crazy.
You know that's
he just defies all logic and all reality because he's the man, George Blaha.
Man, George Blaha. Oh, man.
The golden voice of the Detroit Pistons. I love George.
Yeah, I do too, man. I do too. But what do you think the rest of the season? How you think the rest of the season is going to play out? And what are you expecting for? What is your expectation for the rest of the season?
Roll out the tanks, man. Roll out the tanks. I mean, what other scorers do we have on the roster, man? I mean, we just got rid of one for a project. I wouldn't necessarily call Dennis Smith a scoring piece. So we got rid of one of we were relying pretty heavily on Derrick Rose for some scoring and some leadership off the bench. So I mean, like, I don't know what to say. That to me is a signal that, hey, we're committed to this 5-win team.
Brendan, I am not entertaining your foolishness. That's all I'm gonna tell you. I'm not even going to read these comments aloud. You can read them to yourself. I'm not reading them aloud, but I'm not even entertaining that foolishness. All I'm going to tell you is, if you believe that crap, put your money where your mouth is.
Okay, so Brendan says the Pistons are going to go to the playoffs. Watch.
Yeah, they're going to be there selling popcorn and peanuts in the stands. That's about the only way they're going to get there.
Brendan's got a crazy franchise mode on NBA 2K21. Crazy.
Yeah, that's
He's got a crazy franchise mode. That franchise mode is lit.
I know it's got to be. If you think they're gonna get to the playoffs.
Let's see. He said DSJ. DSJ, I guess, is the acronym for Dennis Smith Jr. So I don't know. How do you like the DSJ? That's pretty good. I like that.
Oh yeah, he's always been called that. I don't have a problem.
I like it. He said he's gonna go crazy and carry us.
Okay. Yeah.
Brendan got the jokes, man. I love Brendan.
Yeah, he definitely got them. He definitely got them.
Well, I was gonna say, I believe he came out of the draft with Donovan Mitchell, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
Is that correct?
That is correct.
Because Dennis Smith Jr. was on my draft board that night. It was him, Donovan Mitchell, and Malik Monk, I think it was. Those are the three top guys. Because we're looking for some shooting guard. We're looking for shooting power. And guard play. And those were my three guys, if I remember correctly. And we took a shot in way left field and got Luke Kennard.
Hey, the funny thing about that though was Donovan Mitchell worked out for us, and he said that he thought Van Gundy he thought he was going to the Pistons, and he went to pick after us, which is crazy, man. And people talk about it all the time, but this is what I'm going to say, and most people probably won't agree, but had he been drafted here, Van Gundy would have wasted him. He would have been a waste here.
I don't think Van Gundy would have been fired.
Oh, I do.
You don't think so? I think he would have carried. I think he would have bailed out Van Gundy.
I don't. See, I don't.
No. I think he would have.
Listen, name a player that Van Gundy developed. Name a young player that he developed.
Dwyane Wade.
Dwyane Wade was already good.
He was already good, but Van Gundy didn't hold him back.
I tell you what. You know what happened? Hey, you know what happened? Pat Riley told him to take a hike and sit his ass on. He fired him. And Van
Gundy. Yeah.
Yes, he fired him and told him, "I'm taking over." He took over the coaching. Yeah, you go figure that.
Yeah. That happened when that happened the year after we went to the playoffs with the Spurs. Went to the finals with the Spurs. So it was, God damn it. It was the 2006 season, and the Miami Heat started off super cold. I think they were like 500 within like the first 2 months, and they just fired Van Gundy. And then 2006 was the year that so it was 2005. It was the Spurs and the Pistons, right, in the finals. And then 2006 was the Miami Heat and the Dallas Mavericks, if I got that right.
Yep. And
they came back from 3-1 and won.
2-0. It was 2-0.
2-0.
Yep.
And they came back and won 4-2.
4 straight. They won 4 straight. They sure did.
Yeah.
Hey, Tommy.
And that was under Pat Riley, right? That was under Pat Riley?
Yes, it was. It was under Pat Riley. But hey, Tommy, though, you
God,
said
I had to dig out of my memory for that one.
oh no, I got it all up here, dude. I got it all up here.
I had to dig. I'm like, man, we're going back about a good decade here.
Hey, but Tommy say Dwight Howard. Dwight Howard was dominant for a minute, and he just plateaued.
I mean, you can't take away all the credit from Stan Van Gundy. I mean, I'm not a big Stan Van guy myself, but I mean, you got to give him some credit for some of these guys, like Jameer Nelson. Who was Jameer Nelson before Stan Van Gundy?
What he did. It was with Dwight Howard. It was just kind of like Dwight Howard and 4 shooters, and he tried to do that here with Andre Drummond.
Yeah,
he went out. Tried to sign. He signed John Lewis. Thought that he would be like Rashard Lewis. Hell, we even had Jameer Nelson. I mean, dude, he drafted Luke Kennard. I mean, he wanted to put shooters around Drummond, and he wanted to run this like he did in Orlando, and it didn't work.
My issue with that is that whether it be Tom Gores or Stan Van Gundy or a combination of the both, they should have ditched Andre Drummond like in year 2. In year 2, Andre Drummond should have been ditched, or after year 2, because the thing is that Andre just kept regressing. And you could tell there was games where he just take games off. I think there was one game.
But you
I want to say it was against the Atlanta Hawks. I don't know if you remember. Atlanta Hawks had put together a really good team. They were just on fire one of these years.
Joe Johnson. Joe Johnson was there. I know what year you're talking about. They lost to.
It was Kyle Korver. It was one of those Kyle Korver Atlanta Hawks teams.
Oh,
remember that?
I remember. Yes, I remember that. They lost to They lost to the Cavaliers.
And Andre Drummond refused to play in one of those games, and we really needed him because we were a young, hungry team. And I remember Andre Drummond refusing to play, and I want to say like Greg Monroe had to step up in his place. And I think that was the emergence of Anthony Tolliver. Anthony Tolliver was a complete nobody on our bench, and all of a sudden he came out and was balling in the place of Andre Drummond, and everybody was getting all hype about it, like, oh, Anthony Tolliver. The Tolliver effect, I think, was born on one of those nights. I'm just like, but a lot of that was off of Andre Drummond not giving full effort and not really wanting to be, and it was like one of those really first few signs you were seeing of Andre Drummond not really wanting to play, man. He's just complacent.
Yeah, Van Gundy, man. Yeah, now he's ruining an
Zion.
the Pelicans. No, I'm up here looking at the Rockets and the Hornets. I'm watching this game. Hornets up 20. They're up 20 on Houston, and LaMelo was balling.
Brendan said he developed Tobias Harris. What do you think about that?
I'm not even entertaining Brendan. I'm not. I'm just.
He said he's done with you, Brendan.
Yeah. Nah.
I'd say Tobias was developing. He was developing in the Magic.
Good in Orlando.
Yeah, he was developing with the Magic. But okay, all right. I'll give you a few guys that you cannot deny that Stan Van Gundy helped develop. He helped develop Reggie Bullock. Reggie Bullock was sitting at the end of somebody's bench. He came in as a Piston. He was playing pretty damn good. Come on, man. Come on. Reggie was playing pretty, not Jackson, but Reggie Bullock.
Mm-hmm.
He's playing pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, I'll give you another one. I'm not done.
Mm-hmm.
Marcus Morris.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
I guess, man. Listen, though.
Come on, you gotta give it to me for Marcus Morris. I mean, he was not. He also was sitting at the end of somebody's bench.
No, he was actually pretty good in Phoenix. I don't know what it was
with the coach.
I don't know what it was in Phoenix, but he was actually playing, and I was happy when we got him. Man, I was happy when we got him.
So was I. He was sitting at the end of Phoenix's bench, but he did have problems with their coach. I want to say they got in a fight, and I'm trying to think of the guy's name. He actually was a player in the NBA. Oh, what the hell is his name? He was actually a player in the NBA in the 90s, and they were bumping heads. I want to say he played for Utah back in the day. Anybody know? Anybody know that name? The Phoenix coaches. The Phoenix coaches. The name of the Phoenix coach that.
Jeff Hornacek.
Hornacek.
Yeah.
There it is. Yeah.
I thought
he played for Utah.
Yeah. I remember Jeff Hornacek. Jeff Hornacek was a really good player.
Mm-hmm. He was decent. He was pretty good for the time, for the era. Absolutely.
Yeah, he played, and before he played in Utah, he played for Phoenix, and he played for Philadelphia.
I don't remember him in those teams. I definitely remember him in Utah.
Oh yeah,
Utah was really fucking good back in the 90s.
Yes,
he was one of the primary players.
He played in Phoenix with Kevin Johnson and Tom Chambers.
Yeah. Okay, that team. Yeah.
Yep, and he was traded to Philadelphia for part of the Charles Barkley trade, the trade that brought Barkley to Phoenix.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. He was really good for Utah. I remember him in Utah for sure. Absolutely.
Yep. He was traded from Philadelphia to Utah for a guy named Jeff Malone. I don't know if you know who Jeff Malone is, but
I know who Jeff Malone is.
Jeff Malone's a pretty good player.
He beat the Pistons up
Yes,
pretty good
but
time, a couple good times.
yeah, but Jeff Malone was really, really good in Washington.
There was that with Washington? He almost single-handedly beat the Pistons in the first round. That was like 1980, like
88,
7-ish.
87, 88. He almost did. I want to say no, I want to say Moses Malone. I want to say Moses Malone was on that team too.
I can't
Dumas.
recall.
Yes. Yeah, Richard Dumas. He was a good player too, man. Drugs killed his career, man. I did like Richard Dumas. He played for
Dumas. Yeah, we were supposed to get him for Dennis Rodman.
Yeah.
And that trade was rejected.
Yep, I remember that. I remember Sean Elliott, dude, being here. Oh my God, you talk about I hated
disaster.
Huh?
That was a disaster.
Well, he didn't want to be here. He hated it here, man. He hated it here.
He talked shit about the Pistons on the Spurs broadcast.
Oh, he did?
I don't know.
What did he say?
Yeah. Every now and again, when the Pistons play the Spurs and he's on their little broadcast team, he throws his little jabs. Yeah.
Yeah, he hated the Pistons here, man. I remember when we traded him to Houston, and it got rejected. We traded
that one got rejected
for Robert Ory and Matt Bullard. And I think we got 2 second round. We were supposed to get 2 second round picks. Nope. That's when he found out that he had a bad kidney.
Yeah. But the Spurs gladly took him back, and we got robbed in that trade too.
Yeah, because they gave us David Wood, dude.
I think they also gave us what's his face from Duke.
Who?
Their point guard with Grant Hill and Christian Laettner. Their point guard.
Not Bobby Hurley.
I think it was Bobby Hurley.
No, it wasn't. Bobby Hurley played for the Kings.
You sure? I thought that's who we picked up.
Go look it up. I know what I'm talking about. Bobby Hurley played for the Kings, and he got into either a motorcycle accident.
I can't remember who am I thinking of. Thinking of somebody. I thought that was the point guard.
No, his name was David Wood. He was a forward.
I do remember David Wood for sure. Sean, I do remember David Wood.
But yeah, and we flip-flop picks, and that pick turned into
Bobby Hurley.
Yeah, it wasn't Bobby Hurley. Bobby Hurley played for the Kings, and he got into a car accident.
Look at this transactions. So Sean Elliott. Yeah, Sean Elliott was a disaster, and we got robbed 2 times with him. We picked up Bill Curley.
Billy Curley. Oh, Billy Curley. Billy Curley.
We picked up Bill Curley, and we picked up the Charles O'Bannon, but we got him as a draft pick.
Charles O'Bannon. Charles O'Bannon was later. Charles O'Bannon was in 90. He was a second round pick, and I want to say like 97 or something, 96 or 97, something like that. We drafted Charles O'Bannon. I remember Ed O'Bannon, his brother. Man, they were cold at UCLA.
I'm reading some. I'm catching up on these comments.
I'm not paying him no attention. Brendan, I'm not
even done with you, Brendan.
Yeah, UCLA. Yep. Yeah, I love them UCLA teams were nice. The O'Bannons, Tyus Edney, Cameron Dollar, Big George Zedick, the center. Yeah, they had some really good teams over at UCLA back then.
Kevin says Toby was all right, but isn't as good as he is now. he wouldn't even count him as a SPG boy. He's talking about Tobias Harris.
Oh, okay.
He's trying to explain how he feels about Tobias under SPG. I wouldn't count him. I would not count Tobias Harris as a Stan Van Gundy guy. Tobias was showing potential way before Stan Van Gundy, and he's exceeded his playing style past Stan Van Gundy.
Hold on a second.
Let's see. Brandon says, I never ignore you, Jamal. Respect your fellow moderator. That's Brandon. Brandon, we love you, man. We love you. But when you tell me Dennis Smith Jr. is going to carry us to the playoffs, I don't know what to say, man. I think
he's trolling. That's what he's doing. He's trolling.
I don't know, Brendan.
I'm not even paying him no attention. He's trolling. Yes. Oh, yes, Tommy. Yep. That is so on point. He was one of the players that ruined the NCAA. But yes, for player likeness. But you know what? You know what, Tommy? Let me say this though. Oh, they right, man. O'Bannon, yeah, they should get paid for their likenesses, man, because these universities make millions off of these kids. Case in point, the Fab Five, man. Michigan made a ton of money off the Fab Five, dog. A ton of money off of them. And Weber and them wasn't seeing that money. Yeah, it was O'Bannon. You are so right. So right on that.
So Jamal, how do you feel about the rest of the season going forward? We're 5-1 team.
I want as many ping pong balls as possible. That's really where I'm at. And as long as we develop, that's all I care about.
We're facing the Knicks tomorrow. Tomorrow. We're facing the Nets tomorrow.
Oh, well, I was hoping we would face the Knicks so we could beat them by 30.
We're facing the Nets tomorrow.
Well, we probably lose by 30. I think Kevin Durant will have 40 on us.
Oh, even how we played against the LA Lakers? Even we're going to lose by 30?
Against the Lakers, man. Listen, Blake is going to play. One thing about us, man, with Blake playing, he slows us down. It's a totally different game when he's in there. Totally different.
Brendan says DSJ is going to carry us to wins. Now, Brendan, do you feel like DSJ? Well, I can't say that because he's not going to play tomorrow. But yeah, I don't. What else did he say? He said Blake will drop 20 tomorrow and dunk on Kevin Durant. Yeah, no, not going to happen. I don't think Blake can dunk on a Fisher Price rim right now, man.
Blake couldn't dunk a donut in coffee right now. That's how bad he is. Blake is trash. Absolute trash, dude. My goodness. And it looked like it hurts him to run. That's how he looked. It looked like he's hurt to run. We have a habit of sneaking up on good teams, but yeah, if Blake is in, we're getting blown out. Absolutely, Kevin Villabona. We're getting smoked. If Blake is in there, we're losing by 30. Who's the best player on the Pistons?
Who's the best player on the Pistons? Who is the best player on the Pistons? Jeremy Grant.
Yep.
I don't think there's any question about it. It's Jeremy Grant. He's been the best player on the Pistons since the day he got here. He was struggling that first couple games.
Hey, Tommy brings up a good point. Durant's not going to play because of the COVID.
Is Kyrie back? Kyrie's been back, right?
Yep, he's back.
I still don't think we're going to play that well against the Nets.
You said what?
I still don't think we're going to play that well against the Nets.
I don't either. Like I said, especially if Blake is in there, it'll be over by halftime. Listen. When we played,
but you know what? You say that, but we've been playing some pretty competitive games until halftime.
We have, and here's the funny part.
We come out of halftime either on fire or completely cold.
When we played the Lakers, because we got killed by the Suns, so I'm just like, okay.
And Utah. Well, Utah started coming back.
Okay. When we played the Lakers, I'm just like, okay, I'll probably be sweet by halftime because we're gonna get blown away. When they kept it around 10, I'm like, yeah, we got a shot. We got a shot. I felt like they robbed us that game. We should have won that game. But
so Gary Graham says, do you want the Pistons to win or lose? I think Jamal will answer this.
I'll answer this. Yes, I want them to develop. I want them to play close games and lose, so I can get the ping pong balls. I want Cade Cunningham. That's what I want. I want Cade Cunningham. And I'm gonna go out on a limb and say this, y'all. We're getting the #1 pick. It's our time.
Okay. You want another point guard. Yes. What are you going to do with Killian?
Get in where he fit in. Listen, it's up to him to decide what he wants to do. Is he going to swim or sink? A guy like Cade Cunningham, you don't pass on him. You figure you draft Cunningham and you figure it out later.
You end up with a situation like a lot of teams find themselves in. Like, I don't know if you remember the Golden State Warriors when they had Chris Webber and who else they had? They had Rasheed Wallace, I believe it was.
You're talking about Washington. Washington had.
Was that Washington? Yeah, and then they traded him. Yeah.
Washington had Rasheed Wallace and Chris Webber.
Yeah.
And they traded. It's not a bad situation to be in. I remember New York having Mark Jackson and Rod Strickland.
Yeah.
And they wound up trading Rod Strickland to the Spurs for Maurice Cheeks.
Yeah. I guess I see where you're coming from that point. I think that's not a bad idea. Like if you have the intention of leaving the door open for a trade, I don't think that's a bad idea.
No, it's not a bad idea. And then it pushes Killian to get better. And everybody's like, it's going to kill his confidence. The hell with his confidence. It's swim or sink. That's what he either do one or the other. And if he gets better, you figure out which guy you want to keep. It ain't that hard.
They're saying Cade is playing against Kansas. Now, some people have said they watched Cade and they said that he's not really that impressive jump shooter as he's advertised.
Well, I can tell you this. His shot is a lot better than a lot of college players. It ain't great. But it's not terrible either. And one thing about Cade Cunningham is Cade Cunningham can also score without like he had 19, but he didn't shoot the ball well last game. The last game they played.
What channel is that on, Tommy? I'm sorry, I don't mean to cut you off. Tommy, if you can give me a channel so I can see what game you're talking about. Kansas. Cade going against Kansas.
Jamal, I know you have hope in us getting the top 3, but I think we're getting our highest is 4 or 5. Fair enough. Cunningham, Hayes, not Hayes, Cunningham, Green, Suggs, the center from USC. I mean, you're going to get a good player if you're picking in the top 5. You're going to get a franchise all-team player. No doubt about that. That I say, let the chips fall where they may.
Kevin says if Killian doesn't fit in, his ass can go.
Yep.
we go for the best available regardless of position.
Absolutely, I agree. In this
I'm
instance,
gonna have to agree with that too. I'm not completely sold on Killian, but then again, I'm not completely sold on Cade Cunningham. If Cade Cunningham doesn't produce, then he can go as well.
listen,
We need to start building.
we do. But here's the thing with Cade Cunningham. I explained this to you a minute ago. He shot poorly. One thing about Cade Cunningham, he found ways to score without necessarily shoot. He's a scorer, man. He gets to the basket, you're gonna foul him or he's gonna dunk on you. That's what we need. That's exactly what we need here. We need another playmaker. And his shot is pretty decent. It ain't great, but it's decent enough. It's respectable from an NBA standpoint.
Are you watching this Kansas game?
Oh, it's on ESPN. I was watching
I already flipped it over. I'm glad Tommy said something. I didn't know he was playing right now.
Oh, I didn't know.
Now,
I didn't know he was playing either.
let's see. Kevin says, Jamal, I know you have a hope in us getting a top 3, but I think we're getting the highest of 4 or 5.
Hey, Kevin, let me explain something to you, man. Teams like New Orleans, Cleveland, Minnesota, all of them have gotten the first pick. It's our turn, man. It's our turn. Y'all talk about you have to have hope, and y'all dog me for being negative. I'm trying to be positive and tell y'all we're getting the number 1 pick. We're getting the number 1 pick. So and you have to believe that. So,
Tommy, what are your thoughts on Cade Cunningham now that you've been watching him this whole time? Okay. That one's a question for Tommy. Let's see what he says about that. Let's see, Kevin. Yeah, the thing with Weaver's moves is that we need to get shooters. I know DSJ is a talent, but doesn't help our shooting. Who realistically do we have on our roster that is a shooter? Steve ain't shit. Hold on, I gotta see more on that. Elliott is our best. Grant is all right. Siku was meant to be our stretch forward, but he's too tentative.
listen, hey, you need Kevin. We need scorers, man. We need scorers. We don't. I mean, Steve Mikhailu. I mean, and Ellington. You can always get shooters, but we need guys that can put the ball in the basket. Besides Jeremy Grant, you need a guy.
And mind you, the guys that he listed off, besides Jeremy Grant, weren't really projected to be big time scorers. And then Ellington is not really has always been sort of a role player. So, but as far as like Siku and Steve, I mean, no one was expecting them to be big time scorers. And people been hyping up Siku, but Siku was a 15th pick in the first round.
So, and
14 teams passed on him.
So was Kawhi, and so was Giannis. Listen,
true,
man,
but that's not. Go ahead. Go ahead.
It doesn't matter where you're drafted. It's about your work ethic and what you do when you get to that team.
So let me throw that back at you. So does Siku gonna turn out to be Giannis or Jimmy Butler or Kawhi Leonard or Paul George?
No,
one of these small forwards that were drafted mid first round.
He could. It's possible, but you got to let these guys develop. Oh, on a side note, Cade Cunningham just hit a 3.
I seen that.
And somebody said he couldn't shoot. Okay. Kevin, you got to have faith, man. You got to have faith that the NBA will give it to us. Got to have faith. Listen, I'm playing the odds, and the odds are we've never had the number 1 pick, and if we did, it was years ago. To my knowledge, we haven't had the number one pick, but you gotta have faith, man. You gotta have it. It's our turn. It's just our turn.
See, my view on Sekou is that he's the 15th pick overall. He's already not expected to be one of the best prospects in the draft. Now, if he turns out to be one of these small forwards that turn into a premier player that was drafted in the mid-first round, then great. But the expectations of him are not that high to begin with. But fans put all these expectations on him like he's going to be the next
You know why?
Giannis.
Do you know why?
And I'm just not buying that.
No, well,
You gotta
I'm
show
not
more.
even, but do you know why fans are doing that? Fans are doing that simply because let's be real. We have not been very good the past 10 plus years. So
13.
whatever this team does, no matter how big, it's a lot of fans, a lot of these fans in here are going crazy about Dennis Smith Jr. I mean, and he's just a project. But again, this team has been so bad that whatever we get, it's like the shiny new toy. Dennis Smith Jr. is the shiny new toy. So that's kind of and Sekou the same thing. They're hoping that Sekou can develop into something. I mean, most of us that watch basketball know that, he could develop into that. But there's a very good possibility that he may not. But if he turns into, to be honest, man, if he turns into somebody like hypothetically John Sally or something like that, you take it, because John Sally was a very good defensive role player on a championship team. You take that.
Kevin says he mentioned to Barack that we give Sekou next year to work with Killian, and if there's no progress, then we ship his ass out of here.
This is what I want to see, because I think Sekou, with the right coach, can develop into something. That's what I think. I think with the right coach, he could develop into something. I think Casey has gotten stubborn to the point where he doesn't want to play young players, but in some cases he's forced to. Like he's forced to play Isaiah Stewart.
Not gonna have any choice.
He's
not gonna have any players left.
He was forced to play Sadiq Bey because Josh Jackson and Grant got into foul trouble. Good pass.
What do you think about Sadiq Bey? Speaking of,
couldn't think about it. We only drafted to complement Sekou. Otherwise, we would have picked Kylie Burton. I can go along with that. I can go along with the fact that we drafted Killian to complement Sekou. But here's the thing, though. Sekou wasn't playing.
What do you think of what do you think of Sadiq Bey, Jamal?
Like Sadiq Bey. I wish he got more minutes. Again, that's Casey being stubborn and not wanting to play the young guys. I mean, it's hard to get in the rhythm when you're only playing a handful of minutes. Like I felt like it was one game. C. Mikhailuk went like 5 for 5 from 3. He scored like 18 points. And then the next game, he didn't even play. Or if he did play, he only played like a handful of minutes. I'm like, dude, yeah, if guys are balling, you play them.
Dan says fire cats it.
Listen, if I'm gonna say this,
that's an inside joke. That's an inside joke.
Oh, okay. But what I will say is Weaver is not married to Casey, so at any time he can fire him and bring in his own coach, which we may see that. To be honest with you,
if he fired Casey at the end of this year, it would not surprise me in the least. Wouldn't.
We were talking about in the group how guys post bullshit posts like fire Casey in big bold letters, like orange backgrounds and green lettering, and that's all they put. There's no other information. They just say fire Casey, and it creates a shitstorm amongst 9,000 people, and everybody's like at each other's necks about firing Casey or keeping Casey.
I'm gonna tell you though, a lot of people thought I was trolling when we
hold on. But the fire Cassett is that they spend so much little time making that post, and it creates so much shit. They don't even spell the dude's name right. They just put fire Cassett.
Wow.
Wow. Fire anybody. They just don't. They just type that thing in so fast and so angrily. They're just like, whatever, close enough. Said. So yeah, that's where that comes from. It's a good joke. Fire Cassett. Let's see. Kevin says, Sadiq was gaining momentum when Casey cut his minutes completely for the next 3 to 4 games. Brendan says he says Jamal's a huge troll. He may be the owner of that caller dude's account.
Listen, I own when I troll. I let y'all know when I troll. But I know a lot of people thought when we had the fake playoff push, and a lot of people thought I was trolling then. But I let people know when I'm trolling. I will let you know when I'm trolling. I keep it 100 most of the time. When what you see with me is how I really feel. So if I'm telling you, if I give you opinion about something, I'm going to tell you why I feel the way I feel. So I troll, in different ways, but like, how fire Casey and that should he be fired? Honestly, it wouldn't surprise me. It wouldn't surprise me if they fired him. It really wouldn't. At the end of the year, if they decide.
Do you think he should be fired?
No, I don't think he should be fired. Simply because he didn't sign up for this. This isn't.
I agree.
This isn't something that he signed up for. He signed up for a ready win, a win now team, not a rebuild.
I agree with that. And it's the reason why they brought in Derrick Rose. Is because of that.
Okay. I didn't think that they were anywhere.
That's the logic behind it. Is that they had a win now team. They're expecting Blake to be healthy. They're expecting Reggie to be healthy, and they're expecting Andre Drummond to be Andre Drummond. So they bring in Derrick Rose to supplement that.
Let me ask you this, and anybody that's listening, and I'm not even entertaining Brendan because he's gonna troll. But did you honestly believe that when they signed him that this team was going to win a playoff series? Did you believe that? Oh, no. Well.
No, I didn't buy that. That's all. Everything I just said is Piston PR.
Oh, absolutely.
That's not anything I personally believe.
But here's the thing with that. You had a lot of fans that believed that that was going to happen.
Yeah.
Just like
but can you blame them? That's what the Pistons are selling.
No, you can't blame them. And the reason why you can blame fans for feeling like that is because you have to follow your own mind. You have to watch and evaluate for yourself and not let them manipulate you into just here you go. The playoff push. That was a joke. That was an absolute joke. And they tried to pass that off on this fan base. And I hate to say it, but 90% of this fan base.
You talking about this year? You talking about this year or you talking about last year?
No. I'm talking about when they had Blake and Andre and they were the year that they made the playoffs and lost to the Bucks.
Mm-hmm.
They were talking about the playoff. They were advertising the playoff push. I'm like, only this franchise that is so mediocre would pass that off as an achievement. It's not an achievement. This team is not winning the playoff series. And my God.
There were so many red flags in that playoff push. I don't know if you remember, but Blake Griffin missed like the last 2 weeks of that season because he was hurting.
And not only that,
and we nearly choked the playoffs away relying on Reggie and Drummond. I don't know if you remember that.
Oh, I remember that. Listen,
that was eye-opening. I mean, I was like, dude, we are choking. We were already in the playoffs, but when Blake got hurt in the last week or two of the season, we relied heavily on Andre and Reggie to carry this team, and we were choking games away to the New York Knicks of all teams. I think we lost the New York Knicks twice in that 2-week span. I'm just like, man, like we nearly did not make the playoffs because of Reggie and Drummond.
So he acknowledged that the Pistons organization pushed that agenda, then turns around and says he doesn't understand why we brought Derrick Rose in. Who are you speaking? Who are you talking about? I have no idea what you're talking about.
I think he's referring to your comments about Derrick Rose, because what I'm trying to say is that about Derrick Rose is I understand the logic behind behind in Derrick Rose, but that doesn't necessarily mean I have to buy it. I don't have to buy the fact that the Pistons are going to be this playoff team that's a dark horse, that's an AFC. Like the Pistons are trying to sell me. But if they're going to sell that and they really believe that, then they should make moves that are going to go to that. And the moves that they made was to bring in Derrick Rose to supplement that dark horse feel that we're going to be that AFC that takes on the world. Oh, and that's the image that the Pistons organization is trying to sell the fans, especially in that 1 year that we were talking about.
Yep. Yeah. And Tori, you're right. We brought in Derrick Rose because we were pushing the playoff push agenda. Absolutely. And Brendan says that I was trolling when a lot when we signed him. I laughed because I was laughing at y'all because y'all bought that crap. And when we signed Tony Snell, we traded for Tony Snell. Oh my God, y'all act like we won the lottery when when we traded for him. That dude, you talking about a guy playing to make the teams even? That dude did absolutely nothing on the court. Absolutely nothing.
People were selling him as an elite 3-point shooter. I don't know if you remember that.
I think we could have got a better trade if we traded Rose to a contender. Yeah, part of that is true, Tori. I agree with that. But Derrick Rose wanted to be in New York, so he earned the right to go where he wanted to go. I feel like, as a player like Derrick Rose, he earned that right to want to go play for the Knicks.
I'm curious if he really wanted to play for the Knicks. Was that his decision that he wanted to do? Was that really something he wanted to do?
Because him and Tibbs have a relationship, so
it's a Tom Thibodeau thing.
For me, I don't understand why he wanted to go there, but hey, again, I'm not a Knicks fan. I don't care. We got a second round pick and Dennis Smith Jr. out of it. I'm happy.
Let's see. He said, just glad we got Lure out. And that's who we traded Snell for. We got rid of Lure for Snell.
Yep, we sure did. And that dude was a big waste of space too. That was a Van Gundy signing. That was a disaster. Van Gundy, my God. Whew. I think Weaver was dead set on getting Dennis Smith Jr. I mean, again, he was there for the taking. I would have preferred Mitchell Robinson myself, but I'm not mad at Dennis Smith Jr. I'm interested to see what he could do for us.
Big Barack in the house. What's up, Barack?
In my opinion, Morris should be here. Hey, Tori, which Morris are you talking about? We have both of the Morris twins. Would rather have Knox. Yeah. Yep. I'd rather have Knox too. But again, beggars can't be choosy. We got something for Derrick Rose.
Let's see. Kevin says Lure and Snell trash for trash, but that's not how the fans were selling it at the time. People were, like Jamal said, people were really celebrating that trade.
Yep,
like we got the better end of the trade.
Yes, they were. Marcus, what happened with Mark? We got Blake. Did we get we traded Blake Griffin for Marcus Morris? Didn't we? No, wait,
no, we traded Marcus Morris for what's his face? The dude from Boston. Avery Bradley.
Oh, okay. Got you. Yep, that's true. That's right.
And the Tobias Harris. Who was
between? We traded Tobias for
Tobias and Bobin, I believe it was.
Yeah, Avery. Yep.
For Blake.
Yep. That's it. Now y'all brought it back to me. It's all coming back to me now.
And we got panicked because we let KCP walk in free agency. So
I was
without a starting shooting guard.
I was happy about that. I did not want to pay KCP $20 million, dude. Sorry.
True, I agree, but we should have traded him.
Nobody wanted him.
There
wasn't a market for KCP.
It doesn't matter. Trade him for something. You can't just let him walk.
He wasn't good. Hey, you let him walk.
He's still playing in the NBA.
KCP stands for kid can't play. He's a joke.
I don't disagree with you, but you can't just let him walk. We spent 3 years developing him, and he still got a he got a market value. He still got paid $17 million a year. Someone likes him.
Yeah, he's playing with LeBron. Yeah, LeBron. Okay. He's playing with LeBron.
Okay, then he's got value. Somebody likes him. LeBron likes him. Then you're gonna have to make a trade with the team that LeBron's on and get something for him.
Listen, he's not even a starting caliber shooting guard.
I don't disagree. That doesn't mean you can't trade him.
He comes off. Don't he come off the bench?
Sure. That still doesn't mean you can't trade him. Look at Dennis Smith Jr. He's only played 3 games. He still got traded for something.
Nobody wanted him. Nobody wanted this guy.
Oh, my God. You're making excuses, man. You have to trade him for something.
I'm not making excuses.
You have to trade him for something. Dennis Smith Jr. just got traded for something. He's only played 3 games. KCP, we've been developing for 3 years, and we just let him walk.
Because
we just like Brent Barrow rock.
Because he's stunk. He's stunk. He's stunk.
It don't matter. There's still value in these guys. No, you don't let them walk. You trade them.
A broke watch has more value than KCP. Are you kidding me?
It doesn't matter. You can probably trade a broke watch for something. There's a sucker born every day.
But no, apparently not, because nobody took his ass. Jesus.
KCP needed to be traded.
Somebody will want a 3-and-D player. That's what KCP is. Contenders love players like him. No, the Lakers loved him, and he was trash until LeBron got there. Next. KCP was on an expiring contract. He signed for one. Listen,
If KCP was any good, he would have signed a multi-year deal. He signed 2 one-year deals. The guy is trash. He's absolutely trash.
That's not the point. That's not the point. That's not the point, Jamal. Jamal, the point is that he still landed on a team that wanted him. If there's a team that wants him,
he landed on a team that was trash at the time, and they got LeBron, and now he's the piece that's there. Is he balling now? Yes, he's balling now. But put him on a team like, let's say a team that's rebuilding like we were, and ask him to carry the franchise. Can he do it? I'm not giving him $20 million.
You either.
Well, wait, hold on. That's what he wanted. I'm not giving him $20 million.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not either. That's not the point that I'm making. Point I'm making is that I don't want to give him $20 million. You don't want to give him $20 million. I don't want to give him another multi-year contract. I'm good with his rookie year contract. After his rookie year contract, I am good. And you're also good with this rookie year contract. We agree. The point that I'm making is that once his rookie contract is coming to an end, you got to trade him. You cannot let him walk.
But it takes 2 to tango. My point is nobody wanted his ass. Nobody wanted him. Nobody wanted him.
Somebody wanted him. Somebody wanted him.
Listen,
the Lakers wanted him. The Lakers wanted him. They're willing to pay him $17 million to be on the roster.
And how many years did he sign for?
He signed for 1 or 2, but it doesn't matter.
No, he signed for one. What is it? 1 or 2? I want to say it was 1. But listen, if somebody wants you, they will sign you to at least 3 years if you're wanted. A guy like Josh Jackson. You know why Josh Jackson only got 2 years? He only got 2 years because of his past. But he's balling now. He wanted to prove himself. He's proving himself now. Nobody wanted KCP. He is absolute trash. Thank you. Barack, tell him again. We tried to package him in potential trades, was denied even in rumors. Absolutely. If they don't want to,
I like how you said. I like how that was doubled down on, even in rumors. You know what rumors are, right?
Because that was cheap for the Lakers. Yes, it's cheap for the. Nobody wanted this guy, man. Nobody. I'm telling you, nobody wanted this guy, man. That dude can't play dead. He's a joke.
But hold on a second. Somebody would have wanted him because he's not on. When he was with the Pistons, he wasn't on a $17 million contract. He was only on a rookie year deal, which is only like a couple million at most. It was only like $3 to $4 million that he was being paid.
You're making my point for me. He's not making any money. So if they thought he was any good, then somebody would have wanted him. He stinks. KCP cannot play. He's a joke. I'm saying nobody wanted him. You're saying nobody wanted him when he signed with the team. Listen, hey, the Lakers.
He got a pay raise. If nobody wanted him, he would have signed to a similar deal when he was with the Pistons.
No, the Pistons wasn't paying him. Now, are you kidding me?
That's not what I said.
No.
You didn't even hear, Jamal. You didn't even listen to what I said. I said that the deal that he was on with the Pistons was a rookie year contract. Was a rookie year contract, or was a rookie contract. Right. If nobody wanted him, then he would have got a similar deal that he got that he had with the Pistons, which is about $3 to $4 million a year. But he actually got a pay raise going to a team like the Lakers.
He wanted $20 million. That's what he wanted.
Yeah, and he got like 17, I think.
I wasn't paying him 17.
Somebody paid him 17.
Yeah, for a couple of years. And and also too, you also have to fill out a roster. So it wasn't like they let's pay him, he can help us. No, they had to fill out a roster because they didn't have anybody. It wasn't a pay raise. It was $17 million one season. The Lakers could afford to risk other teams. Yes, absolutely. You know why? Because they were rebuilding. They were rebuilding. It was only 1 year, and it would be an expiring contract. If it didn't work out for him, they could trade him. He would have been easily.
Oh, now they can trade him. Oh, hold on a second.
The-
Hold
I
on,
said
hold
the
on,
Lakers-
hold on.
the
Repeat
Lakers
that again. Hold on, repeat that again, Jamal.
The
I
Lakers
just heard
on
some
a
magic words
one-year
come out of your mouth. Oh,
on a
now they can
one-year
trade
deal.
him?
On a
He can't be
one-year-
traded as a Piston, but as a Laker, he can be traded.
Yes,
Go ahead,
as a
continue.
Laker, he can be traded. Yes.
Oh,
On a
interesting.
one-year deal.
At 17 million. Oh,
1 year.
not at
'cause
4 million? Interesting.
cap
Continue.
space. Cap space,
Oh,
brother.
cap space.
Yes,
Oh.
cap space. $17 million
Okay.
in cap space for 1 year. That's expiring.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
It makes all the sense in the world to me.
He was
but-
expiring contract at 4 million.
That's for us? Hell no.
Yeah. Yeah,
No.
when he was with the Pistons, he was an expiring contract for 4, maybe 5 million.
But
He was on a rookie contract.
That's how bad he was. Nobody wanted him.
Are you break? Hold on. Are you covering up your mic, Jamal? I think you covering up your mic.
Can you hear me?
Now a little bit. You're echoing.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Mm.
Okay.
What did you do?
Okay, I'm back.
I mean, I can hear you, but you're an echo. Can anybody hear him properly? You were clear a minute ago.
I don't know what's up, but nobody wanted that. Nobody.
But you're saying that he could be traded as a Laker, but he couldn't be traded as a Piston.
He couldn't. Well, as a Laker, because he has an expiring contract or something. That's why.
He had an expiring contract with the Pistons.
It was only $4 million, and nobody's taking a flyer on that.
Are you kidding me? That's like throwing in just an extra piece of meat. That's just throwing the dog a bone. 4 million?
It's not the same thing because one is 17 million, the other is 4 million.
And you telling me that 17 million is easier to trade?
Yes, it's a lot easier to trade. It's a lot easier to trade because teams would have their cap space. Yes.
Okay.
1 year.
Then 4 million.
Yes.
Okay. And they're both expirings.
Yes, they're both expirings. And you know what you do?
Okay.
You know what you do with your expiring contracts? That's money off the books for you to sign free agents. So yes, that's 17 million. Thank you.
You also have him also being paid at 12 million currently, KCP.
And he has 1 year left, right? Does he have 1 year left?
No, he has 3 years left, meaning that he signed a multi-million-dollar contract with the Lakers.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And you're telling me no one wants him?
No, yeah. Now, because he playing with LeBron, probably wanted him. But at the time, nobody wanted him. He was trash. The dude is trash. Trash. Hey, listen, y'all want to celebrate mediocrity? Go right ahead. That dude can't play.
No one celebrated mediocrity. I'm not saying to sign him for 17 million. I wanted him gone.
Oh, I did too. I wanted him gone, but I mean, if you can't trade him, you can't trade him.
But you're saying you could trade him at 17.
Yes, you could trade him at 17 million.
But not at 4.
Okay. Let me put this in perspective for you.
Yeah, go ahead.
Now,
I still can't put my head around that.
Okay.
At 4 million, that's a drop in the bucket.
Okay, right
Compared to
now,
17.
the Pistons can't trade Blake Griffin, right? Remember, I kept telling you, wait.
But he's not being paid at 17 or 4 million. He's being paid at 36 million.
He's getting paid. They can't trade him right now. But guess when they can trade him? Guess when they can trade him? Guess when they can trade Blake Griffin? They can trade him in the offseason. They can trade him at the beginning of next year when he has an expiring contract. Because that contract is $36 million. That'll be 36 of an expiring contract to someone else. That 36 million to someone else comes off the books.
Right. But you're telling me that $36 million is easier to trade than $4 million?
Yes, I am telling you that. Yes, I am telling you that.
$36 million, an expiring contract,
Yes,
is easier to trade than $4 million, which is
yes,
also an expiring contract.
yes, it's easier.
Mm.
I don't understand why. I don't understand why you're not grasping that.
I feel like I'm listening to the Pistons telling me they're going for a playoff push.
No, you're not. Because it's not the same thing. It's totally not the same thing. Expiring contracts, the bigger the contract, the more attractive it is.
Oh my God. It might be attractive, but it's not easy to trade, man.
Okay. Watch what I tell you when at the end of the season, beginning of the next season, there are going to be a lot of teams that want that contract for Blake. Watch what I tell you. Hell, Lou, I'll give you another one.
Brock says Lakers could trade him at $17 million, but the Pistons couldn't. Not at 17, nor at 4. I personally don't think he. I personally think he could have been traded at 4. $4 million. That's a drop in the bucket. Are you guys kidding me?
Dude, that's how bad he was. Listen, and you brought up Dennis Smith Jr. Dennis Smith Jr. can play. That's why there was a market for him.
He's on the bench, man. We're just looking at his game log. He's been on the bench. He's played 3 games out of 22.
The Knicks are one of the worst franchises in the history of this game. The Knicks are
Pistons
garbage.
have been one of the worst franchises in the last decade.
Hey, listen, we got nothing for Drummond. You know why we didn't get nothing for Drummond? Because we waited too long to trade him. He lost value.
I agree with.
He lost value, and you couldn't get anything for Drummond.
I agree with. I 100% agree with you, Jamal, on that one.
He can't play a radio. I love it.
Trades are. Let's see. Brock says trades are more than money. It's about the teams and situation. Let's see. Brock says playoff push. That's what I feel like I'm hearing. I feel like I'm hearing the Pistons tell me we're going for a playoff push. I don't know, man. You can't convince me that $4 million, a $4 million contract on any amount of years is a tradable contract. That contract can be traded.
No, but I'm saying 1 year at 17 is easy to trade. Just like you're going to see when it's time to trade Blake Griffin, that 1 year and $38 million is going to be easy to trade. Watch. Do you think we're going to get the number? Yes. I told you I'm calling my shot. We're getting the number 1 pick. Book it. Book it. Book it. Book it. We're getting the number 1 pick, man. It's happening. It's happening. It's our time. It's our time. All these other franchises have gotten it. It's our turn. I'm just saying, man. I'm just saying. Yes, Barack, we're getting it, man. Y'all keep saying have faith. I got faith we're getting the number 1 pick. That's right.
He said Dennis Smith Jr. couldn't play a radio.
We're gonna be in the top 3.
Dennis Smith Jr. Oh my God.
Should we fire Casey or keep him? He's not embarrassing himself, so I don't see a reason. If you do, this is what I'll say. If the Pistons decided to fire him, it should be at the end of the season and not now. I think it would send the wrong message to this young team if they fired Casey at this moment. It would be a PR nightmare if they fired him right now. I will wait. If you're going to fire him, Casey got screwed. If you ask me, I don't disagree with that. Because he didn't sign up for a rebuild. So
let's see. He said Casey, for now, do not fire, but at the end of the season, evaluate.
Yeah,
So,
that's what I said.
so you think it'd be a better move to fire him in the offseason than to fire him at this very moment if the Pistons were to fire him?
Yes, because it sends the wrong message. It sends the wrong message. You're saying basically, basically you're saying he's the problem, and he's not. And the issue is, and somebody said it. I got to scroll up and see that he was brought here he was sold a bad dream, because he was sold that hey, this is a team that can win now, and
don't you think being fired regardless in the middle of the season or at the end of the season, it still sends the same message that he's the problem?
No, I don't.
Why do you think that? Why do you think at the end of the season it's a softer blow?
Because first of all, it's the morale of the team. You kill the morale of the team, with that. And then because coaches that get fired in the middle of the season, basically you're saying that, hey, you're doing a bad job. You're doing a terrible job that we're firing you in the middle of the season. That's why it doesn't happen very often.
Because I kind of agree with you, but I feel like whether you fire him at the end of the season or fire him in the middle of the season, you're still indicating that it's his fault. If it's labeled as a fire, if you're labeling him being fired, regardless if it's in the middle of the season or the end of the season, you're still saying it's his fault.
Yes and no.
Okay.
And sometimes firing someone at the end of the season, it could be just a mutual partner ways. So
but if it's a mutual parting of ways, then it'll be labeled something else. It'll be like they mutually agree that they're separated.
Not necessarily, and I can give you an example of that.
Go ahead.
And it's a different sport, but Jimmy Johnson in Dallas was fired.
Mm-hmm.
He was fired because he didn't want to kiss Jerry Jones' ass. It's a totally different situation, though. Different situation, but they played it off like. But again, that would have been a PR nightmare. The guy that took you to 2 Super Bowls, and then after 2 Super Bowls, Super Bowl championships, you fired a guy? Nah, that's a bad PR nightmare, dog. You can't do that.
I agree with you, but that is definitely a different situation because you're talking about the elite of the elite in the NFL. We're at the bottom of the NBA.
Nothing matters with Dennis Smith Jr.'s vertical 4 years ago. The Pistons make the playoffs. Okay, and do what?
Tommy says the Pistons never moved up in the lottery in its history. We stay in the same or fall back, and that is very true. And that is sad, man. That really does bother me.
And that's why I'm telling y'all that I honestly think that it's our time. I honestly believe that. Will I be mad if it don't happen? No, I won't be. Will I be surprised that if it don't happen? No, I won't be surprised at that either. I'm just telling y'all that at some point, the ball got to bounce our way. We got to get lucky. It's our time. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
Tori says, I don't think you fire him. I think you sit down and agree to step away from each other. Bad look. I also agree. The reason why I'm going down the firing tangent is because in my mind, whether you fire him in the middle of the season or you fire him at the end of the season, it was still labeled him as being fired. Now, if you want to say you guys mutually parted ways, I feel like it's the best bet. But I think personally, it's going to come down to Casey's own decision to step down, where it's saying that he left on his own terms. I think that's how it's going to go down. If Casey ever leaves this franchise, which I feel like will happen, it's going to be Casey saying, I'm done with this.
I
Wash
could
my
definitely,
hands,
I could
and I'm
definitely see
getting
him
out.
do it. I could definitely am seeing. I didn't sign up for this crap. I'm out of here. Weaver, you can get your own coach. We fired Larry Brown. Yes, we did. We did fire Larry Brown. A lot of people don't know that, but yes, we fired Larry Brown. After we lost to the Spurs, we fired Larry Brown. It wasn't presented that way, but we fired Larry Brown.
We fired every coach, I think. I think we fired every coach. Like every coach in the last 15 years, we fired.
Yep. With the only coach we didn't fire in my lifetime was Chuck Daly. We didn't fire Chuck Daly.
Chuck Daly left on his own, yeah.
Yep, he sure did. He resigned.
Trying to think. Who else? We fired every coach, I believe.
Yep,
every
we
coach,
sure did.
every coach we fired. Rick Carlisle, Larry Brown, Flip Saunders.
I was mad at first when we fired Rick Carlisle.
Right,
Because he had just taken us to the Eastern Conference Championship. We lost to New Jersey. And before him, we were trash. We were trash before him, man. So
we got spanked in the Eastern Conference Finals.
We did, but still, man, I mean, we were nothing before he got here. So I'm like, what the hell are they doing?
That Eastern Conference Finals still gives me nightmares, man. Fucking Jason Kidd and Kenyon Martin. Kenyon Martin making everybody look like a rag doll. Clifford Robinson and Memo Okur were struggling, man. Struggling. They couldn't stay in front of this guy, man.
Nope.
Oh man, Kenyon Martin has never looked that good in his entire career. Like we made him look unstoppable.
Dennis Smith 48-inch vertical is the only thing we need. Kid in that pick and roll, yes. Kid in that pick and roll was deadly, dog. They had some decent players over there too. And none of them, it's funny, man, none of them were really superstars. I remember that roster. Kerry Kittles.
That was a Byron Scott team, wasn't it?
Byron Scott was the coach at first. And then Lawrence
Frank took over.
Yep. Kenyon Martin, Richard Jefferson, Kerry Kittles. I want to say Keith Van Horn was on that team.
Yeah, I think he was. Yeah.
Lucius Harris.
The White Mamba.
Yes. Brian Scalabrine. Kid choked in Game 7. I want to say he didn't score. I know he went 0 for 7. He was awful that Game 7. Yes, he did choke. He sure did. Clipper guard.
The next year, hey man, that next year was that everybody hype. Okay, so the year that we won the championship in 2004, everybody talks about the Pacers series, everybody talks about the Lakers series, but the series that we beat the Nets, oh, that felt so good. That felt so good.
It did.
I hated them so. I hated them with a passion. That felt so good. That was my championship. We beat the Nets because we went to the triple overtime with them with Chauncey in a half court shot, and we still lost. We still lost that game.
Lambeer should have been the coach, Pistons coach, easy. Hey Barack, the problem with Lambeer as a coach is he's too intense, and he's one of the old school coaches that don't relate to today's game. That's the problem with Lambeer, and that's why he has not gotten a head coaching job. We should hire Billups as a head coach. I wouldn't be opposed to it. Wouldn't be some new blood in here. Wouldn't be opposed to it at all.
Well, we gotta wrap up here, Jamal. If you guys want to continue forward, I'm sure Barack would love to get on here. Barack's a star, man. You can't beat Barack. But we're gonna go ahead and wrap it up. Any last questions for Jamal? Jamal knows his stuff. Jamal, what do you think? What do you think about DSJ? Do you think he's going to have any potential with the Pistons? That's my question for you to wrap this up.
You know what? I don't know, man. I think I honestly think that he will be a lot better than he was in New York, obviously, because they're the Knicks. So and the Knicks are a toxic organization. So I think I don't know, man. I think I'll just say he'll be better here than he was in New York. Now I have a question for you. Do you think he has a chance to unseat Dwyane Wade as the starting point guard before the season is over? And that's to anyone here.
That's my answer. Did you get it?
You said no? Okay. Hey, Troy, listen.
Dwyane Wade's actually played pretty decent, though.
I'm not trying to play with nobody's emotions, Troy. I'm just giving you how I feel and why I feel the way I feel. That's all I'm saying. I'm not trying to play with nobody's emotions. I'm just saying that I feel like we're going to get the number one pick based on we've never gotten it in the lottery situation.
Look
so
at the way Dwyane Wade's playing. Look at the way Dwyane Wade's playing. Do you think he can be unseated by someone that hasn't played the entire season?
Well, let me say this: Dwyane Wade hasn't always played as good as he's playing. No. Dwyane Wade had quite a few stinkers.
Yeah.
So
he's also being paid $9 million. Did you know that?
Yep, I knew that.
Yeah.
The Pistons are a push for. I'm not even reading that crap because he's trolling. We have no shot at the AC. I don't know how anyone can believe that with a straight face. So
he's been reading too much Keith Langus, man.
And I don't know what the hell he's reading, but.
Okay. Hey man, you need to get off DetroitPistons.com, man.
You said what?
He needs to get off DetroitPistons.com.
Hey, listen, man. They bought and paid for. And I've always said
get all your fluff.
I could never work for ESPN or any of these or Fox. I couldn't work for these networks.
I couldn't either.
And simply because I have a mind of my own. You're not gonna tell me, well, you should write this. No, the hell I ain't. This team stinks. I'm gonna tell you this team stinks. If you got a problem with it, too damn bad. Isaac Hayes is better than Killian Hayes. Classic. Absolutely classic.
It'd be for me to work
right now, Jarvis Hayes, I don't know if y'all remember Jarvis Hayes. He played for the Pistons. Right now, Jarvis Hayes is better than Killian Hayes. So, there you go.
Jarvis Hayes. Oh, man. Dude, you remember the hype Jarvis Hayes came in with? Man, people were hyping him up too, man.
But you know what? He was just going to be a role player. He wasn't going to be.
Yeah, but they were hyped because he was a lottery pick.
Yeah, he was a lottery.
He was a lottery pick. Everybody was hyping him up, man. Like I remember that too. I'm like, man, Jarvis Hayes, really?
He was just going to be a piece. Can we pack up Dwayne Casey in the trade? I mean, coaches have been traded before, but I don't see.
He said Hooper is better than Killian. Man, people are hating on Killian, man. Oh, jeez. Killian is getting killed in these comments.
Jarvis Hayes, overrated. The baller from Georgia. That's familiar. Yup.
He came from we got him from Washington, I believe.
Yeah, we got him from Washington. But he played collegiately at Georgia, I think.
Yeah.
That's what Rock was saying.
That's where KCP came from, I think.
Yep, that's exactly where it came from.
Man, imagine that. Georgia just producing shooting guards that can't shoot.
It's funny because I'd never heard of KCP until the draft. Honestly,
that was new to me too.
I wanted Ben McLemore. He went to pick before us. Sacramento. That's who I wanted, but he didn't.
it was Ben McLemore or CJ McCollum.
See, I wasn't on CJ McCollum. I didn't know nothing about CJ McCollum either, but that was a bad.
Just a couple shooting guards.
Trey Burke, yeah, I wanted Trey Burke too. But yeah,
everybody wanted Trey Burke.
That draft was awful, dude. Anthony Bennett going number 1.
Was that Anthony Bennett? That was the Anthony Bennett draft?
That was the Anthony Bennett draft, man. Oh, that was 2014.
Oladipo came out of that draft as well?
Yeah, I'm sure I think he went to Indiana, I think.
Yeah.
Was it Indiana?
No, Oladipo went to.
Yep, it was OKC. My bad. You're right.
Yeah.
And then he was traded to Indiana for Sabonis, I think. No, with Sabonis. Sabonis was who was he traded for? I'm just going off the top of my head, but if you told me, I would know.
I thought he was. Wasn't he drafted by Orlando? I thought it was Orlando. He came out of Oladipo.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It was Orlando.
And then he went to OKC.
Then he went to Indiana.
Indiana, yeah. So, guys, I'm happy that you guys came in. Thank you for joining us. I'm sure Barack's going to take this over. I'm sure Jamal's got a little bit more time he can spend with Barack. Y'all can chop it up. I'm happy to have everybody here. And so long. Hopefully beat the Nets tomorrow. Maybe. Probably good. Oh, hold on. Before we go, what is your prediction for tomorrow's game?
I'm going 121.
Give me your best play. Give me your best. Who's going to have a standout game, and give me kind of a score margin.
I got Jeremy Grant, just Mr. Consistent. 25 points, 8 rebounds. I got Josh Jackson at I think gonna drop 15. He's gonna drop 15 on the Nets. I think Stewart is gonna have 8 and 10 rebounds and 2 blocks and 5 fouls. Hey, let me say this about Stewart, and then I'm done. And I was debating with Timmy. It wasn't really a debate, but he thinks Stewart should start. I'm not ready. I'm not ready there. I'm not ready for that to happen yet, simply because he doesn't play under control. And Stewart, one thing about Isaiah Stewart, he hits hard. He fouls everybody hard, man. Oh my God. I mean, he don't give up no cheap fouls. He fouls everybody hard. So, and he's like 5th or 6th in the league in fouls per minute. So no, he can't play. He can't start, man. He can't start. Not yet.
The Nets have lost 3 of the last 4 games. They dropped one to the Wizards. They dropped one to the Raptors, and they dropped one to the 76ers. The only one they got in the last week, it looked like, is against the Clippers.
Well, they're gonna get one against us, because I got us losing. They are the highest scoring team.
They are the highest scoring. All these have been high scoring games.
So with that being said, I think Harden is gonna drop, if he's playing. Harden is going to drop a 40-piece on us. That's what's going to happen. Harden is going to drop a nice 40-piece on us. With all that traveling and all that garbage, because I hate I can't stand James Harden. He's dropping 40 on us tomorrow. 128, 116, Brooklyn. That's my prediction.
Okay. I'm going to go 120. I say 101, Brooklyn. And I think Jeremy Grant will go about 22 points, 22, 24 points. And I think Josh Jackson will probably have a good game. I think he's going to go 18. I think Josh is going to have 18.
So you kind of there with me somewhat.
Yeah.
So-
Now where the rest of the 80 points comes from, I have no idea. Maybe George Blaha will lace it up. All right, man. Hey, it's good talking to you, bro.
All right, take care, man.
Absolutely, man. Have a
Yeah.
good one, guys.
You too.